I have two boys, only one boy now. He was very good boy, but unfortunately, we don't know who killed him.
We're gonna miss him so dearly.
Just 28 years old, gunned down outside his Rexdale home. Now the search is on for multiple shooters. People who knew Faham Jama can't understand why anyone would want him dead. Now some of his neighbors are also concerned for the safety of their loved ones after their community was shattered overnight by gunfire that killed Jama. Talia Ritchie is live at the shooting scene near Finch and Martin Grove Road. And Talia, you've been speaking with the victims' family members throughout the day. What are they telling you?
Well, Dwight, I spoke with his father, who said that Farhan's mother is reeling. She saw her son die outside of their home. He comes from a large family with 5 sisters and a brother, and today dozens of people have been coming in and out of the house to show their support. We spoke with some of them today, and they say they're obviously sad, but also angry that another life was lost so violently. An emotional father shares his son's best qualities.
He was good boy, polite, educated. He was educated, he was humble, he was helping his family. Very kind.
A steady stream of loved ones visiting the family home today tell us Farhan Jama was walking home from work last night carrying some takeout when he was killed outside his door.
He need justice. I'm okay, but his mother is sick. She don't know anything. Because she have seen her son dying here in front of the house.
Several people called 911 after hearing the gunshots. Many ran outside and stayed with the young man. The 28-year-old died on scene.
Such a nice. He grew up with us, now a kid. So sad to see him last night lying down over there.
Police say 20 shell casings were found in the area, and for that reason, they believe the shooting could have been targeted, but they're still investigating.
I can tell you that there was some ricochet off of some of the concrete pillars and the bricks. I can tell you that there was one address that had a bullet go through the window. A second address had a bullet go through the frame and then through the residence as well. So they were firing very sort of indiscriminately, at our deceased.
Those who knew him can't grasp why. Police say he had no gang affiliations and was not known to them.
You come an innocent person, you come shot the. Why? We're shocked because the boy was a good boy. This was a nice boy, good family. He finished just the university. He done. That is not fair.
Along with the tears today came a plea.
We can't let our kids play outside. We're taking our kids like a childhood, like they can't play outside. They can take bike. We're really scared.
We need help. We need help.
A member of a large family and community, loved ones say Jama will be missed.
I have 5 girls and 2 boys, only one boy now.
Very good to his mother and sisters, and very helping. And he loved life. He loved life very much.
Now, police do have some security footage from the area, but they are still appealing for witnesses tonight. They say they're also looking for a newer, dark-colored sedan. And police also reminding people that if they're feeling afraid to speak out, there are ways that they can give police tips while protecting their identity. Dwight?
Thank you for that, Talia. It's been 1 month since innocent bystander, 17-year-old Jonathan Davis, was shot and killed steps away from his home in Malton. Police say it was an ambush-style attack on a community with multiple shooters, leaving behind over 100 shell casings. It made national headlines and even had the federal leader speaking out against gun violence. Now, as the Darcel Avenue community continues to heal, the memory of Davis lives on. Angelina King, explains.
Some of the flowers have wilted, the crime scene cleared up, but Jonathan Davis and the brazen violence that killed him not forgotten.
Yeah, so this is where I came out. And when I came out, I looked to the right. I seen Jonathan laying there with his mother holding him. So if you want, we could just walk over to the spot. To see like him grow up now to the good kid he was, and then to see how he died, like it was just traumatic at the time.
Javon Samuels was holding his 1-year-old son when he first heard this. Everyone thought it was firecrackers. Afterwards, Samuel says he couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, and couldn't find the energy to do things he loved. He's lived in Malton all his life and says while violence has been ongoing for years, this was different.
Other people who are seeing what happened, who are also like have nothing to do with what's going on, like they're gonna fear for their lives too. Because in a way I did too, because I'm like, I don't have any problems with anybody in the neighborhood, but it's like nowadays it doesn't even matter.
More than 100 shots fired by at least 7 people wearing masks, some armed with semi-automatics, killing Davis and injuring 5 others. Police say most of them also innocent bystanders. The shooting, police believe, motivated by a music video filmed in the area. Samuel says Malton may have a bad reputation, but it's more than that. He says there's talent, unity, and now a community that's healing together.
At a time, I felt like I was the only one going through what I was going through and how I felt the way I felt. But once I seen that I'm not the only one, then, you know, it made me feel a lot better.
Family, friends, and community members packed a church over the weekend to lay Davis to rest. Among gospel songs and somber poetry, his family and friends shared their memories and their pain.
He was very caring and innocent. I don't understand why this happened to him.
A son his family depended on. Davis helped his father, who's losing his sight, and no matter what, he was always early to pick up his 3-year-old sister from daycare.
He exuded kindness and pulled generosity and altruism out from everyone he touched. He was everyone's best friend.
Using, of course, his favorite color, which is blue.
Tiana Kennedy painted her pain.
That day was actually a nice day. It was a good day, sunny day. Kids were out here playing.
She says while people have come together in the close-knit community since the shooting, it's been more quiet, like there's a cast over the building.
You don't really hear much people as much. You don't really hear kids out here. You hear one little sound nowadays, people are kind of like, you know, flinging.
And that fear still exists here because 1 month later, no arrests have been made. Davis's family says it's difficult to get closure when those behind his death are still out there. Angelina King, CBC News, Mississauga.
We have more on how the Darcel Avenue community is feeling 1 month after the mass shooting online. cbc.ca/Toronto. Across the city today, people are sitting down to big Thanksgiving meals, including at the Scott Mission.
I brought my sister here for Thanksgiving, as we both don't have other people to give us a dinner.
To give back to the community, to help people that are less fortunate. It's all a sense of community. We're all in this together. We have to help each other out.
I used to be a client here back in the early 70s as one of the guys who used to come and eat, and I decided to, after I retired, to volunteer. I know what it's like to be on the street. I know what it's like to be hooked on drugs or whatever, and I always, if I get the opportunity to chat with somebody or pray with somebody, then I'll take that opportunity too.
It served up a feast to more than 300 people today that included turkey, mashed potatoes, and even some pumpkin pie. This is the busiest day of the year for the Scott Mission, but the organization offers to help anyone in need all year long through hot meals, free clothing, a shelter, and after-school programs for low-income families. At one Scarborough home today, 2 families who first met in a refugee camp years ago are giving thanks together for the first time in Canada.
Most of our family members are back home. We have no family and friends here. So this is our family, these are our friends. And Thanksgiving is all about family get-together. So since this is our family, so we are enjoying that Thanksgiving with them.
The Mushtaq family hosted the Thanksgiving lunch earlier today. Among their guests, the Shakibs, who just arrived in the city. 5 years ago, the 2 families met in a Sri Lankan refugee camp after fleeing Pakistan. The Mushtaqs arrived here in 2015 and helped set up a charity called Refugees for Refugees. Through that agency and with the help of a local church, they were able to sponsor their old friends, the Shakibs.
अच्छा हम लोग बहुत खुश हैं और एंजॉय कर रहे हैं.
Yeah, the food was very delicious, very good, and we are enjoying it.
The potluck featured blends of rices, kebab meats, salads, tamarind sauce, and kheer. That's a traditional milk dessert.
Canada's fastest man serving up Thanksgiving lunch in Regent Park. What do we got on the menu here?
I'm serving over here some jerk chicken, so.
Jerk chicken, well, it looks great. It smells even better. I'm Greg Ross. Coming up, we talk to Andre DeGrasse about giving back to the community and getting ready for Tokyo 2020.
Frost advisory, temps set to drop to the near the freezing mark overnight, Colette?
Oh, yes, that is right. Here we go, Dwight. This is going to be one of the coldest nights we've seen for a long time. And I'll tell you, right now we're holding on in the double digits. 10 degrees right now in Toronto and Mississauga, Oshawa, Markham, 9 in Hamilton. You're not quite in the double digits. But all of the GTA, all the Golden Horseshoe will be into this frost advisory and much of Ontario, frankly, for tonight because these will be some of the morning temperatures. This is 8 a.m. This isn't 4 o'clock in the morning. And that's why I want you to really take note of these because I want to caution you. You got to find the mitts and the toques and where are they at because I think the kids will need them for the start tomorrow. You'll need them yourselves and then you could peel them off because it'll be a nice afternoon. But to start the day off, we'll probably fall actually to a low of 2 for Toronto and Mississauga. But at 8 a.m. we may be at about 3. But that's right around the time we're hitting our overnight lows. So the chilliest temperatures, nothing to see here in terms of anything to worry about. The next system, though, that's moving in is going to be quite a rain-laden one. That's going to come in overnight tomorrow night into Wednesday, and I'm going to talk more about that and how much rain we're going to see just a little bit later in the show. I just really want to hit this point for now, which is 2 degrees, the low tonight with that frost advisory, increasing clouds tomorrow afternoon, and a high still comfortable, Dwight, of 14.
If you've got anything left in the garden, pick it now.
Yes, pick it, eat it. You're probably too full after Thanksgiving meal, but...
Thank you, Colette.
You're welcome.
Andre DeGrasse is back home in the GTA, and he is giving back. Fresh off a 2-medal performance at the World Track and Field Championships, he hosted a Thanksgiving lunch in Regent Park through his new family foundation, and our Greg Ross was there.
It was a Thanksgiving feast with all the fixings, part of a big homecoming for Andre DeGrasse, who spends most of his time these days training in the U.S.
I've been thinking about for the past, couple months, when I come back, want to have something special for the community.
And special it was for many of these kids as their hero helped serve them their food.
I'm so proud of him.
And also a special moment for DeGrasse's mother, who says her son was giving back long before he was famous. When he was 16 years old, DeGrasse volunteered at the Yonge Street Mission.
Thank you. We help kids with homework and played sports with them.
But these days, it's all about posing for pictures and taking time to meet with many of these kids face to face.
These guys came to see you.
Nice to see you.
What is that? How does that feel right now? He's standing right here in front of you. How does it feel?
Good.
Some were at a loss for words, others not so much.
I said, "Can I have your signature?" Then he said, "Okay."
What's your question for him?
How are you so calm when you run, when you're running?
I'm actually a little bit nervous, but I try to stay calm, take deep breaths.
I used to watch him when I was little, and I would see him, and he would look so calm when he ran, and he would win those ones.
That calm demeanor was on full display earlier this month at the World Championships in Qatar, where DeGrasse took home 2 medals, a silver in the 200-meter race and a bronze in the 100 meters.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great confidence booster for me. Coming out of Qatar, coming off of injuries, just coming back into it and just trying to do the best that I can. So it feels pretty good.
DeGrasse hopes to carry that confidence with him into next year's Tokyo Olympics.
If I show up to the line and I'm healthy and I'm feeling good, I feel like I got a great shot.
And these kids will be watching, cheering him on, and dreaming.
It's very exciting. I want to be like him when I'm older.
Greg Ross, CBC News, Toronto.
And the wires are dangled into trucks. Trucks are in the ditch.
We rode it out for about 2 days and we were cold.
A destructive fall snowstorm that has left thousands of people without power will take you to the cleanup happening in Manitoba after the break.
The weather update is brought to you by Train Extreme Conditions Testing. It's hard to stop a train, really hard. Train, the most reliable heating and cooling brand.
As a powerful typhoon slammed into Japan this weekend, it forced the cancellation of Canada's match at the Rugby World Cup. Since the Canadians couldn't play, they decided instead to help.
Our team, with no prompting, decided to go out and help the people in Kamishi where they were. They went out, the coaches went out, our CEO went out, and I think it's just incredible.
Team members grabbed shovels and helped clean up the muddy debris in Kamunshi, a city in the northeast of the country. Across Japan, the death toll from the typhoon is now up to 48. Some areas received a record 1,000 millimeters of rain over the weekend. Much of Manitoba remains under a state of emergency. The province was walloped by an early winter storm over the weekend, and hydro crews are working around the clock to get the power restored to tens of thousands of homes. Cameron McIntosh has an update.
The snow is melting and the cleanup is underway in Winnipeg, but when you have branches like this strewn across streets and sidewalks all around the city, it's going to take a while. Right now, the city of Winnipeg is saying it could be days to get this all cleaned up off the roads and the sidewalks, maybe even months in other public areas like parks. Now, this is the result of a Colorado low that dumped a lot of heavy, wet snow on Manitoba back on Friday and Saturday. A lot of that snow accumulated in the leaves of trees like this and just brought everything down. And it wasn't just trees, power lines were also knocked out. Now the lights are mostly back on across Winnipeg, but in other parts of Manitoba right now up to 20,000 people are still without power. Manitoba Hydro says it could take 7 to 10 days to get everyone back online. In the meantime, there are also evacuations underway. Several First Nations communities have been evacuated. Most of those people are coming to evacuation shelters here in the city. As for the weather, everyone's still keeping an eye on that. Yes, it's warming up. A lot of people are happy to see the snow go, but there's a danger in it melting too fast, creating runoff that will get into rivers and streams that right now are facing record levels for fall, with the potential of creating more flooding. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Ever wonder where these guys come from? I'm Natalie Nanowski in Bala at one of the province's only remaining cranberry farms. These little berries are native to North America, and I'll have more on how they're grown coming up.
If you are sitting down to Thanksgiving dinner, chances are there's some cranberry sauce on your table. The little red berry is actually native to North America. We sent Natalie Nanowski to Bala, Muskoka to see how the fruit is grown and what else it can be used for.
You know, it's kind of the northern lemon. That's the way I call it.
Lemon.
Yeah, the northern lemon, yeah. So we can't grow lemons here, but we can grow cranberries.
Just want to try one?
Yeah, sure. Do this one. Are the white ones not as ripe?
This one's pretty good. It's just been sort of covered by the vines.
Murray Johnston's family has been in the berry business since the 50s. Muskoka Lakes Farm and Winery produces about 500 pounds of cranberries a year.
The cranberry actually is an interesting plant. It loves an acid soil. Muskoka is a perfect environment for that because we have lots of water, lots of peat bogs, and a good climate. You know, you get too far south, it's warm, and they're sort of a subarctic species.
Once the berries are ripe, the fields are flooded, and a machine combs the vines, picking the red and white berries.
So for those people who have maybe never tried a cranberry, how would you describe it?
Well, I think they're great because they're very sharp, very bitter, but refreshing.
Turns out the industry can also be a little bit harsh. After Johnston and his wife took over the farm from his father, they realized traditional methods weren't going to keep their family afloat.
Well, we ran into some tough years in the late 90s. There was an overproduction and the price fell. So we were looking at diversifying, and I'd gotten interested in the wine industry.
They started with 600 cases of cranberry wine in 2001.
And at one point, we thought maybe we'd overshot. So we were a little nervous when we opened our doors, and we were actually sold out in 16 days.
They've also expanded to ecotourism. You can walk the grounds, watch the fall harvest, or take the plunge.
The best part about all of this is you can be a cranberry farmer for the day. Just put on a pair of hip waders and step into a pond filled with hundreds and thousands of cranberries.
We've developed that into an experience for people, and it's been very popular the last couple of years. You know, for example, we have a poor crop this year due to weather and insect issues and that kind of stuff. But I'm not worried about it because I know there's other sources of revenue that can support the families that live off our farm.
From preserves to wine and cider, now sold at the LCBO. The Johnston's Cranberry Farm is one of 2 left in Ontario, and it's open all year round. Natalie Nanowski, CBC News, Bala, Ontario.
Natalie having way too much fun with that assignment. We should have went up there. That was very cool. And I did not know you could make cranberry wine. You learn something new every day.
I didn't know either, so now we got to try that.
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
Dwight? Yes, we do. Yeah, never mind those polar bear dips. I want to do that kind of a story. Fall, good. Winter, not so much. And we've got some wintry-like weather coming our way. Maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but it is going to be chilly overnight tonight. Our frost advisory is in place. I was showing you earlier in the show all the GTA, much of southern Ontario, in fact, included in this. Now, most of tomorrow is going to be dry. That leads us to, yes, the system's going to come in late tomorrow, and especially overnight, Tuesday into Wednesday. This will be a very rainy one, so it's going to be wet midweek and windy as well. Kind of a cool rain coming through. These are our current temperatures. We're still just holding on there at 10 degrees, but those readings are really going to be falling overnight tonight. A little bit of precipitation to the north of us. Otherwise, we're looking at mostly clear skies. You can see that counterclockwise circulation very nicely here on this area of low pressure. That's actually moving away, and it's another bit of energy, 3 little bits coming together that are going to make the storm that moves through for midweek for us. So overnight tonight, fine. Tomorrow through the day looks good, increase in cloudiness later in the day, and then some of these heavier rains coming in overnight and into the morning hours. So yes, that morning commute on Wednesday, and then even some showers hanging in there even for the latter part of the day. But the heaviest stuff at this point looks like it's going to be in the morning hours, and those amounts may be somewhere in that 20 to 30 millimeters of rainfall. Again, this is all mostly into Wednesday. Not something we have to worry about during the day tomorrow. We have to worry about the chill, and that's how the day starts off, with overnight lows like this. And I just want you to keep in mind, these are not lows. At this time of year, we're not hitting our overnight low at 3-4 degrees or 3-4 a.m. We're hitting it in the morning, 7-8 a.m. So this is how it's going to feel out there. This is how you have to dress and have the kids dressed appropriately for temperatures close to the freezing mark. Tomorrow afternoon, feeling much better as that temperature gets up there, trying to get towards the mid-teens, not quite. And then the wet weather moves in and some cooler temperatures, and we'll just peek ahead and hint that next weekend's looking good at this point, Dwight.
It does look good. Thank you, Colette.
You're welcome.
That's it for our show tonight. Thank you for watching. Mike Wise has your next local newscast tonight at 11. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We'll see you back here tomorrow.